What's up YouTube, Northeast Ohio Sports Cards here, with a follow-up video from the results I had from the 40 blasters of Mosaic that I ripped. What I've done over the last day or so is re-gone through all the cards that I thought were going to go to grading to make a final decision and submit an order to SGC. Originally I had about 15 cards in the order that were going to go out. I put a handful of those aside for a later bulk order for a 20-day turnaround time. And I took what I thought were the best 10 for a 15-day order that's going to go out in the mail tomorrow. Going back through the cards, I noticed a couple of other things on some stuff, and I just wanted to point this out. If you guys are sending off Mosaic to be graded, you really got to check the surface on these base cards. So this is a base jaw. On first inspection, I thought this looked good. If you remember from the previous video, I pulled 4 of these. 3 of them had surface issues. Some major, some what I would deem relatively minor. This one I thought was in pretty good shape and I was going to send off. And then when I was looking through it, doing a double check, I don't know if you guys will be able to see this. Don't mind the glare. But right between his legs, right there, right above my thumb, see that little tiny mark? Little tiny indent on the card that I caught on a second pass through. One of the things I noticed just looking through even non-grade stuff, just random rookies, base, whatever, there are lots of these little tiny marks on these cards. These are going to be very, very tough grades, in my opinion. To get 10s, whether you're using SGC, PSA, BGS 95s, whatever you want. I think these cards are going to have a lot of surface issues. Now, I did not notice it as much on the colored inserts or just the colored prisms in general. I don't know if that's just because the color hides them better. They're just a little tougher to see on the Mosaic background. So this was initially one that was going to go for grading, and then I ended up cutting it. I'll probably still hold on to this one. I've moved a handful of the other jaws, but I think I'll keep this one just to have one from the base set. The other things that I ended up cutting from this order are some just basically base cards. I had a handful of base LeBrons. These are still in good shape. These are still going to get graded. I'm just not sending them on the 15-day order. I'm going to set these aside for a 20-day order to go with some Mosaic stuff and a pile of other stuff I've been collecting that I'll probably end up doing a future video on. So the 2 base LeBrons are going to get set to the side for a future order. And then I have 3 base Zions. I was initially going to send these with the first order for the quicker turnaround time, but I'm not sure these are going to get 10s. Each one of them looks pretty clean. I think the other 2 have some very, very minor surface issues. So I'm not quite sure how they're going to grade out. Part of this is an experiment to see how tough they get graded. And another part of it is even if they get 9.5s or even 9s, if I do end up selling them, I don't have to worry about eBay shenanigans with sellers trying to send stuff back if they don't like the dings in it already, if it's already in a case as an SGC 9. Everyone knows what they're getting, or a 9.5. I'm hoping for 10s, but I think 2 out of the 3 of these are more likely to be 9.5s than 10s. So I ended up setting these aside for a 20-day bulk sub versus sending it in the quicker turnaround 15-day. So these 3 also went to the side pile. Initially, I was not going to grade these, at least right off the get. And I think I am now, but I'm going to do it in the bulk order. So this is the orange fluorescent. It's the Blaster exclusive retail number. These are both numbered to 25, and I ended up pulling 3 of these. The third, as I drop it, was a Brandon Ingram. There's no sales history on this one at all yet, and there's no sales history on the Jackson Hayes yet. The base ungraded of this, one sold for about 70 or 80 bucks. So graded, this might not actually be too bad. And then the Jackson Hayes, he's not a top tier rookie, but he's not one of the garbage tier rookies either. So if this pulls a good grade, only numbered to 25, could be pretty good value in this for a $10 grading fee on a 20-day turnaround. So I would like to get these graded, but I'm not in a hurry to get these back. So these are also going to go in a future bulk sub pile. And that Brandon Ingram may end up joining them. So the stuff that got submitted for a 15-day with SGC that I have, in fact, paperwork's already all printed out. This is going to be a LeBron heavy Lots. In fact, they're all 9 out of the 10 are LeBrons, except for the one card. So first off, we have the MVP insert. I pulled 3 of these, 1 silver, and then the 2 greens. So the 3 of these are going off. I really like the way the silver looks. I may end up holding on to this one and selling the 2 greens, depending on how the grades come back. I'll see what I need to, get my money back out of the product. But I do like the way this silver looks, and he's in his Cavs jersey, not his Lakers jersey, so that adds some appeal for me. But I do really like the way these looks, especially that silver mosaic one. That is a really nice looking card. And I think I mentioned in the previous video, ungraded, this is going for almost 200. The greens are going for about 120 to 125, maybe up to 150. I think they're closer to around 100 to 125. So these 3 are going off. And then the LeBron party continues. We have a base Jam Master. This is going for about 30 to 40 bucks ungraded. Part of the reason this is in the submission is this would be an easy flip for me to cover the cost of the submission. This submission totaled out to be 180 bucks. I don't know exactly what this would go for if it managed to get a 10, but this is one of the things that's in this lot that I'm looking at. What can I flip out of this to pay for the submission to cover the costs? And this is one of the ones that I thought would be good for that, excuse me. So then continuing on Jam Masters, 2 greens going off. Once again, I think these are going to be very, very popular inserts. I think this is probably going to be the most desirable insert out of the retail. I know there's the stained glass, I think it's called, out of the hobby. But I think for retail products, these are going to be the ones everyone's after. The LeBron and the Giannis both seem to be selling pretty well. I pulled a base Giannis, but I'm not going to send that to get graded right now. But I wanted to get these greens slabbed up. And then 2 of his base card in the green prism parallel. I think the green and purple looks really nice. Once again, I'd probably flip both these. I'm not a big fan of LeBron in the Lakers jersey. So these are going for about 100-ish raw. The prices are jumping all over the place, so depending on when you watch this, Mosaic's still pretty tough to find, so the prices are fluctuating quite a bit. And then the last 2 cards is a LeBron Will to Win. These aren't going for a ton. I think they're going for 30 or 40. And once again, this is just something that I'm hoping it grades well, and then I could use it to essentially cover the cost as the order. I'm not attached to this card at all. And then the big one that I'm hoping for a 10 on is the Genesis Tatum. These cards are absolutely gorgeous. Camera and video do them no justice. They just look fantastic. This is one of the best non-numbered short print inserts I've seen this year. I really like the optic checkerboards, and this blows that out of the water. Hoping for a 10 on this. I'm a little worried about centering, but I'm not exactly sure how to check centering on these real well. People say use these lines as a guide. To me, it looks a little off-center if you're using those, but they're just really tough to judge. I did not see any surface issues with this. Corners looked pretty good. I didn't see anything around the edges. No white showing on the black. The common stuff. So we'll see how this one does. This could be the cream of the crop in regards to the order. So I'm going to get these in the mail tomorrow. Supposedly SGC is running a little bit behind schedule. So we'll see when I actually get them back. I have a 20-day order there now that was checked in last Monday. It hasn't had any movement yet, but their website really doesn't give you good real-time tracking of where your order's at. So we'll see when that comes back. I'll probably do a reveal video on those. That has a mix match of optic, prism, and a few other little odds and ends of things. It's pretty much all basketball. So we'll see how that does. And this may, depending on when they get this, they may pop very close to each other. The nice thing about SGC is they give you they email you the scans of the cards before they ship them back to you, so you can actually get them posted on eBay before you even get the cards back. That's something I really like about them, besides their turnaround times. So, all right, we'll see how these do, and I will give you guys an update video to this one once I get some grades back on these bad boys. So hopefully Mr. Tatum here pulls through big time for me. Maybe a gold label. That'd be nice. Gold label Genesis. Ooh boy.